low, and he just gets there ahead of Megana. The ball allowed to bounce. Perhaps dangerously so there by the South African defence. Someone just needed to get in there and clear it out, take no chances. Low eventually coming out and not even able to hold the ball because his momentum would have taken him outside of the area. South Africa not really got their passing going yet. They do like to play on the transition and counter-attack. They're also in possession. When they get things right, they can click with 1- and 2-touch pass and they'll slice through an opposition defence like a hot knife through butter. Not to see any of that though. Early doors though. Header from Smith, held further away by Sibia. South Africa just needing to settle down into the game. Poor throw in from Sibia. A couple of those gone straight to a Nigerian player. Oh, the ball given away at back here. Now, he couldn't quite get the pass for the run of Jefta on the edge of the area, and he would have been away and clear with a slightly more composed pass from his teammate Ariehi. Ball taken out of play at the back from South Africa. A few nerves, perhaps, from the South Africans early in this semi-final. They are up against the most successful under-20 side in African history. Lise can't quite squeeze his cross out. Another chance here, though, from Megari. Goes behind most of the players, but the ball coming clear on the left. Nariehi unable to snap up the loose ball in and around the penalty spot. Nariehi unable to snap up the loose ball. Oh, the referee playing advantage after the foul. Good run forwards now from Madiba. Lovely tap. Second start against Zambia, scored there. Dropped to the bench for the game against the Democratic Republic of Congo in the quarterfinals. He should be at least decently fresh, the Flaku. Dropped to the bench for the game against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Good pressing from Nigeria. Both these sides will do their best to win the ball high up the pitch, according to the state of the game, of course. Saw the stern figure value Zubeiru, the Nigerian coach. He's won titles domestically. Yet to pick up first silverware in the age groups. Took over just a month before the qualification competition for this tournament. Negotiated the Flying Eagles safely through that. Out from the back, cannoning straight into the back of Alabi, and out for a South Africa throw. Kept in play, but Nigeria now back on the ball, giving it away with a sloppy pass in midfield, and now South Africa on the attack, taking the ball over halfway, running at the back four. Here's Rapu, keeps the ball moving, gets it back on this left-hand side, swings one into the area, but it's too much on that from Erlangu. Now Okoro feeds the ball to Megana. Ariehi running the channel. Cuts back inside, looks for support, finds it. Oh, but then a poor touch there. Larby with the loose touch, can't believe the throw's gone the other way. Not the best of balls out from South Africa. They haven't quite got their exit strategy right yet. Amajita. Nigeria controlling the game at the moment. Early days. To see the sun's just come out as well. It was a bit overcast. The kickoff. Sun out now. And Nigeria in behind. Opportunity knocks it. Ball cut across the 6-yard box just behind the run of Ariehi, though. South Africa penned back into their own third of the pitch. Ayuma. Oh, sloppy. Oh, Megana. Oh, lovely turn in midfield. Now then, needs support here. Tries to thread that one in between the centre backs, and then the foul going against South Africa. Given against Neo Rapu. By the way, yellow cards that were reset after the group phase. Still possible to be suspended for the final, though. Any player picking up a yellow card in the quarterfinals will miss the final with another yellow card in today's semi-finals. So that goes for Neo Rapu, the South African captain, and Jumalema Kakana, the midfielder. As for South Africa, meanwhile, Odinaka Okoro and Israel Ayuma, both one booking away from suspension as well for Nigeria. So those 4 players will have that at the back of their mind. Obviously, if picking up a booking means your team will qualify for the final, then you do that and just take the suspension. But ideally, I think all of those players very much integral to the way these sides play. Neither coach would want to have them missing for the final if they were to qualify, or indeed for the 3rd, 4th place playoff, of course, which will be for the losers of this game. Nigeria again now, ball into the area. Ghana just beaten in the air. Here's Rapu. Can only feed the ball backwards. Oh, we're lucky there that Ariehi just slipped as he tried to change direction. South Africa nearly playing themselves into deep trouble inside their own penalty area. Yeah, not really seeing an exit strategy here from South Africa. Picking the ball back around at the back, but there seems to be no real ambition to get in behind the press. Now perhaps they can do something. Good first time pass from Kakana. Gets the ball back again, brings it over halfway, spreads it out to that right-hand side. First real spell of possession for South Africa, to be honest. And all they've managed to do is go back to the goalkeeper, chips one out. Not the best of passes there from Fletcher Lowe. So South Africa definitely struggling to find their rhythm in the opening 14 minutes of this semi-final. Nigeria, though, haven't really asked any nasty questions of the South African goalkeeper. But surely if the flow of the game continues like this, it'll be happening sooner rather than later. The problem for Nigeria, though, really has been scoring goals, 3 in their 4 matches so far. The fewest goals they've ever scored which to reach a semi-final. A late challenge goes in on this near side. The South African coach will certainly be thinking hard in his technical area. So far, Nigeria playing very well, just squeezing the life out of South Africa every time they get the ball. Seems to be no way through. Smith, the first time clearance, but it goes straight to Bameyi. Yeah, you see the possession stats. I'm surprised it's only 55% really for Nigeria at this stage. No foul, says the referee for that challenge on Malangu. Just a bit more balance between passing and movement the Flying Eagles at the moment. Nagari cuts inside, makes a little bit of space now. And they're in behind here on the right-hand side. Here's Ariehi. Decides against the cross, even though there were at least 2 or 3 players to aim at in there. Gets the ball back again on the edge of the area. Nice pass through, and then a heavy touch from Nagari. Never easy to gather a pass like that when it's pinged at you at pace from such close range. Couldn't quite take it in his stride. Good passing, though, from Nigeria again. And 5 men up in the press as well. Trying to keep their foot on the throat, so to speak, of this South African side. They're really playing themselves into trouble at the moment at the back, South Africa. Need a bit more composure on the ball at the moment. Just put straight out for a corner. You can tell they're nervous. There's no composure on the ball. They're doing silly thing. I mean, that was just playing themselves into trouble. When a team presses you like that, you've got to pass through it or over it. And having failed to pass through it in the opening 15 minutes, perhaps South Africa need to just think about pinging the ball over the top of the oncoming press into that space they're leaving in behind. Well, corner comes in and off the crossbar. Well, the closest we've come to an opening goal. Ball coming in. And I tell you what, Fletcher Lowe, a little bit lucky there. Normally as a goalkeeper, if you think the ball's going to be hitting you, it's over. You don't take the risk. I mean, once the ball hits the post or the crossbar, it could go anywhere. And nerves all round. Again, poor ball out from the back, this time from Nkwali. Only nearly giving it away there. Still in trouble here, South Africa. Nigeria winning the ball again. South Africa just can't get out at the moment. And then a loose pass from Naguma. A little bit of respite here for Amajita. Aliou Zuberi, though, must be very happy with the way his side has started off. Raymond Ndaka, not so much. That's better, though. Nice from Madiba, goes past one. He's not going to get a foul there. Well tackled. At last, South African beating his man, showing some ambition on the ball. And the foul there against Kakana. Shake of the head from the 18-year-old. Not seeing a foul on that replay, maybe. There was something just a little bit before they cut into that. There certainly wasn't a foul on the images that we saw. Flicked on by Malangu. Indeed, were unable to pick up the pieces, though. Nigeria winning the aerial battles as well at the moment. Now Timber bring the ball over halfway. He's got support over on that right-hand side. Now it comes more central, but an off-balance pass gives the ball back to Nigeria again. Chance on the counter-attack, and they're in behind here. Oh, tackle on the edge of the area. Gets South Africa out of that tight little corner. Sabia. This is better from South Africa, trying to pass their way out. A little nibble from behind them, Malangu. From Chukwu. Gives them a free kick and a easy opportunity now to try and build something up here, South Africa. Foul on halfway. Zola Maku. Just caught on the foot as he tried to go past Alabi. Bypasses the fullback over on that far side. Smith having to come across the centre-back. Unable to prevent the cross coming in. Oh, just over the head of Ariehi. Well, if he could just have grown a couple of extra inches, that would have been 1-0 Nigeria, and deservedly so too. Clinton Jeff, a good play on this left-hand side and tried to measure the cross for his teammate in the middle. Managed to find a nice gap between the defenders, did Ariehi. Now what can South Africa do with the ball at foot? Out to this near side. Who goes back to Sabia. I think South Africa really need to try and avoid playing it across their back four, because they don't seem to have found a way out at the moment. Kakana dropping deep to try and make an extra man in there, but now, of course, they're a man short in midfield. And then the ball is given away. Again, playing themselves into trouble, South Africa. Midway through the first half, Nigeria very much on top, but unable to find the clinical touch in and around the South African area. Nice ball in, 1-2 off of Elise. The shot comes in, blocked on the edge of the area. Another shot comes in, this time from Ayuma, blocked by Kakana. He's just, I think he felt that on the South African number 8. Another ball in, Smith across. Does well to shepherd that one out for a goal kick. And another brief, at least, respite for South Africa. Nigeria very much on the front foot in this one. Now then, Fletcher Lowe, the goalkeeper. Well, it looks like they've set up to try and play it short out at the back again. And this has done nothing but play themselves into a big trouble every time they've tried it. Ball instead goes long. Lithlaku with the head flick on. Intercepted. At least they're not giving the ball away in their own third and in and around their own penalty area now. A sense has prevailed at the back for South Africa, at least for the moment, it would appear. As soon as Nigeria press high, South Africa in all sorts of trouble at the moment. Smith down the line. Nicely laid off. Timber battling hard up there. Not much support for Malangu though. Both Rapu and Lithlaku, the two wider forwards, struggling to get into the game at the moment. Ariehi rather bundling Sabia to the ground. More like a rugby tackle, wasn't it? In fact, no, that would be a foul in rugby because of the high arm on the neck. Looks like Clinton Jeft has gone down, holding his arm. Seems to be indicating an issue with the elbow. Cynical man would say, well, if it's your arm, you can walk off the pitch and go and get some treatment. Really see much there. Jefter goes off the pitch. Nigeria will be down for 10 minutes at least for the moment or next moment or two. He's pinched a nerve somewhere around the elbow area. Not sure. Maybe someone caught him on the funny bone. I'll give your arm a wobble. Good ball down into the channel. Malangu unable to latch onto it though. Better from South Africa though, winning the ball strongly in midfield. Now Rapu. 3 men over on this left-hand side. That's a poor pass from Malangu. Now some big changes made up top for this one. Completely different front three. Completely different front three, but two of the front three changed for this game. The captain, Neo Rapu, who's really more of a left back than a left winger on the left side of that attacking trio. Maybe just lacking a little bit of cut and thrust in that final third, but not sure that's really the problem at the moment. The issue for South Africa is actually just getting into the final third, but Rapu with a nice intercept there. Now Malangu, back to Rapu again. Tries to put one in behind, but well, the intended recipient, Kakana, had checked his run just at the wrong moment. Pass made to look rather worse than it actually was. It's a nice idea, trying to curl it in behind the back four. Try and turn around those defenders. Well, same goalkeeper and back four every game so far for Nigeria. It does help when you can have a settled platform at the back. It gives the rest of the team a bit more license to do their thing in and around the final third. But that ball well won now by Sabia. Good play from Madiba inside to Malangu. Kakana now. Momentum from the attack lost. Good move from Kakana into space in the centre circle. Lithlaku getting a rare touch. And back on the ball again. Oh, he's turned away from the man in space on that right-hand side. Good defensive work. Madiba trying to win it. High feet from both players there. The referee allowing play to go on, and there's 3 men in the attack here now for Nigeria. Trying to get in behind. Smith goes across and wins a foul as well. Divine Elise shrugged his shoulders. Well, I mean, there was contact there, but so minimal. Ball chipped in behind, nice bit of check spin on there. Ariehi bursts onto it and then fires into the side netting. Kicks the ball away in frustration as well. Well, that'd be a yellow card at senior level. Not here though. Lovely ball in behind, using his strength and pace to get in there ahead of Nkwali. It's not been quite such a settled back four for South Africa. Changes flowing in and out. Didn't help that Sika Tuani, the team captain, got injured very early in the first half against Egypt, out for the rest of the tournament. So they've had to make changes ever since that, as Smith hurriedly clears with his left foot. Half an hour in, 0-0. Nigeria very much on top, though. The match stats don't necessarily show it. Just 55% of possession, 4 shots at the moment compared to 1 for South Africa. But they're knocking on the door here. Nigeria, South Africa, so with the ball. Spending a lot of time hemmed into their own third of the pitch, not really able to play out. Except the long balls like that, most of which are not sticking to the front three at the moment. That was better, though, from Langu. He's had to drop very deep in order to drop the ball off, and then he's not up there when the ball comes back out again. Well, say, coach Aliou Zubairu for Nigeria did say that the weight is off the side now. They've qualified for the World Cup. That's the main thing they're looking for here, as Lise wins a corner for Nigeria. The weight is gone. The players can now focus fully on competing for the trophy. We're now relaxed after securing qualification for the World Cup. Same, I don't think can be said for South Africa. They look anything but relaxed at the moment. There's tension throughout the side. You can see it in the first touch. You can see it in the decision making, especially in and around their own area as well. Corner comes into the back post. Smith as well. Get a fingertip on that one. He's made more saves than any other keeper in the tournament so far. And then the touch from Chukwu goes over the crossbar. Nigeria creating half chances at the moment. Chukwu was the nearest man to getting his head on that. He would have as well if it hadn't been for that bit of acrobatics from Smith. From Lowe, sorry, I beg your pardon. Lowe goes long, out from the back. Ball well held up now. South Africa can come forwards. Rapu in space on this near side. He's got 3 players to aim at in the middle. Ball comes in, keeper beaten to it. Well, Ebenezer Harcourt came for it. Didn't get there. Looks like he might have got a piece of his own captain, Daniel Bemeyi. Need to see a replay of this. It was a beautifully weighted ball in from Rapu in that horrible corridor of uncertainty. Just for once, the long ball out from the back, sticking. A little bit of space found in midfield, and then Rapu curling this one in. Well, I think the keeper's been caught on his arm by his own captain, I think. That looks about right. Caught on the left forearm, left elbow. Amazing, really. Ebenezer Harcourt, 15 years of age, youngest man in the squad. I think he's the youngest man in the tournament, actually, as well. He's also the tallest man on the pitch as well, actually by quite some distance. Oh, magic spray on the left elbow. Man of the match in their quarter-final. Made a couple of fine stops in normal and extra time, saved 2 penalties as well in the ensuing shootout. This was the earlier chance for Ariehi, lacking perhaps just a little bit of composure. He's played well. It's his 4th start of the tournament, just the 1 goal so far in their 2-2 draw against Kenya in their final group game for Nigeria. Not quite been as clinical as he needs to be, though. Now Rapu with the outswinging corner, just 5 yellow shirts to aim at in the area. It's never going to be easy when there's 8 defenders back. Now Kakana. South Africa keeping the ball well here, in and around the area. Chance for a turn and shot. Instead, the pass comes in. Chukwu quickly across, clearing the danger. South Africa couldn't quite manoeuvre space for the shot in the area. Chukwu taking no chances at all. I wonder if that